Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dive into the exciting world of corporate filings. Today, we're cracking open Acadia Pharmaceuticals' latest 10K, their annual report. Now, this report can be drier than a desert, but trust me, there's juicy information in here, including a bold strategy to stay on top and some potential landmines they're hoping to avoid. Acadia is betting big on two core franchises, neuroscience and neurorare diseases. They're focused on developing and selling drugs for central nervous system disorders and rare diseases. Think of it as a specialized pharmacy, tackling complex brain-related conditions and niche, hard-to-treat illnesses. Their current big hitters are NUPLAZID for Parkinson's disease psychosis or PDP and DAYBUE, a breakthrough treatment for Rett syndrome. Acadia is choosing to file this annual report under Section 13, which means that they are making a public disclosure of the company. This report contains forward-looking statements and risks, so you're warned that the future might not look exactly like they expect. With all that being said, let's dig into what Acadia is planning. First off, Acadia is focused on growing sales of their existing drugs. For NUPLAZID, that means getting the word out directly to consumers, using real-world evidence to convince doctors and patients, and upping their sales force's game with better technology. They believe they have a large opportunity to grow sales of NUPLAZID by leveraging real-world data from the product. For DAYBUE, Acadia wants to get more Rett syndrome patients on the drug while making sure those already taking it stick with it. Their plan includes a bigger sales team using smarter data, direct-to-consumer marketing, and sharing real-world data from their ongoing Lotus study. They are also focusing efforts on Canada, the European Union, and Japan. Of course, Acadia isn't just relying on its current drugs. They have several product candidates in Phase 3 or Phase 2 trials, including ACP-101 for Prader-Willi syndrome and ACP-204 for Alzheimer's disease psychosis. They are also focused on precision medicine, data innovation, globalization, and patient empowerment. These are all things to enhance efficiency and effectiveness of operations. They tried to expand NUPLAZID to treat other conditions like negative symptoms of schizophrenia and irritability in autism, but those trials didn't pan out. It's a reminder that drug development is tough. They do, however, believe that the data from the trial allows them to qualify for pediatric exclusivity, which would extend the NUPLAZID franchise by 6 months. In a surprising move, Acadia is also jumping into the essential tremor market with ACP-711. Essential tremor affects 7 million people in the United States, so we'll see if they can offer a new and helpful product to people suffering from essential tremor. The company has an agreement with Saniona AS to develop and sell the drug, and they plan to start a Phase 2 study in 2026. Now, Acadia faces some stiff competition. For NUPLAZID, it's primarily off-label use of other antipsychotic drugs. DAYBUE faces competition from other pharmaceutical companies who are conducting clinical trials to find medications for Rett syndrome. Acadia has a strong intellectual property position. They own a number of patents on their drugs, including one for pimavanserin that lasts until 2030 and a patent on trofinetide for treating Rett syndrome that could extend to 2036. Patent battles are always a risk in this industry, so it's important that they actively defend their patents. Like all drug companies, Acadia operates in a heavily regulated environment. The FDA, Health Canada, the European Medicines Agency, and other government agencies set the rules for drug development, approval, manufacturing, and marketing. Changes in these regulations or failure to comply with them could have major consequences. Making money in the drug business is a three-legged stool, and besides efficacy and FDA approval, you also need insurance coverage. Acadia's products need to be covered by insurance companies and government programs like Medicare and Medicaid. If insurers refuse to pay for their drugs, or if patients have high out-of-pocket costs, sales will suffer. Shifting gears to Acadia's team, the company has 654 employees, and the company is focused on retaining, recruiting, and providing diversity, equity, and inclusion to the workforce. Now let's peek at the financials. The company is considered a large accelerated filer, which means that Acadia needs to release financial results faster than smaller companies. It also implies that Acadia is a pretty big company, and for the most part it is. The company's common stock is worth approximately $2 billion, which puts it in the mid-cap size category. In terms of how much its stock is being traded, there are approximately 166 million shares of common stock available. We can see that further details about the directors, executive officers, and corporate governance are in the proxy statement, but that is for a later video. Okay, so the big question, how did Acadia do financially? Well, for 2024, net product sales totaled $957.8 million, up from $726.4 million in 2023. So they had a 32% increase in sales, not bad. On the cost side, research and development totaled approximately $303 million. Selling, general, and administrative expenses, those are costs associated with growing revenue, amounted to approximately $488 million. A great thing for the company was the gain on the sale of their priority review voucher, with gains of $146.5 million. We can see that the company is paying income taxes due to revenue growth from the sales of products, but they also have accumulated losses and other tax attributes to help reduce the overall tax liability. We can see this from the income tax expense of $31 million. Zooming out, Acadia is subject to a number of risks. First, the success depends heavily on the commercialization of their drugs. If their drugs don't get widely accepted or adopted, their revenue potential will be limited. Also, these drugs are subject to ongoing regulatory requirements that could limit their ability to generate sales. They also rely on a limited number of third-party distributors and pharmacies to market and sell their products. This could have a material impact on the stock price. There is a risk that they may not be able to use net operating loss carryforwards and certain other tax attributes to offset future taxable income, or taxes may be limited, in particular, from future tax reforms. Also keep in mind that there could be changes at the FDA and other government agencies that could delay or prevent new products from being developed or commercialized in a timely manner, or otherwise prevent those agencies from performing normal functions on which the operation of our business may rely, which could negatively impact our business. One risk that I would watch out for is that the company relies on relationships with third parties to get things done, and also for insights in their research and development, which could impair the progress of the clinical trials and the research and development. Also, it is crucial for Acadia to have strong key management who understand rare diseases. The new CEO will be critical to the company executing on and achieving its strategy. Overall, Acadia appears to be in a transition. While there are many risks, a lot of them seem to be under control. With the commercialization of the DAYBUE product and its expansion outside the United States, I believe that this company is in a decent position. If the FDA approval for future products happens, the numbers will look great. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, like, and comment.